Hello, crazy rangers, and welcome to my first mission upload, I guess. This will be the first tactic, if you want to call it, mission video. We're going through hardest right now, and we're about halfway through, probably. I think we're at 58 or 60 or something like that. But these guys right here, these Cosmos, I think they're called online, or aliens, have been proving to be the most difficult enemy type in this game. It's so far that we've come across, because they have so much armor. Oh my goodness, so much armor. And we're trying to do just, I mean, we're not always trying to stick to 2 rangers, but for the most part, we've been trying to do 2 rangers because it's kind of fun. It's a challenge. But we were beating our head against a wall in this area for a while because these guys just have so much health. And when you start shooting these guys, they start running around and they start pulling more enemies, because this mission there's just a bunch of aliens that are just patrolling the city. So, and there's also NPCs scattered throughout the whole city. So if we finally came across, we were like playing this mission for a while and just trying to figure out the best way to do this. And I just was thinking one time, maybe I should just take some bombs. I wonder what happened if we just take some bombs. Will that at least knock their legs out, and then we can finish them off, or something like that? But so this is our first try, literally our first try of taking the bombs on this mission that we were trying for a while, and it proved to be very, very useful. And I think that this is probably going to be a very powerful strategy for Inferno as well, eventually, at least if you're playing as Rangers, because you don't have really the speed, mobility like the other classes may have, and necessarily the power even, because we were trying snipers just to try and take out their legs or try and shoot them in the head, stun them, just different things like that. But yeah, as you can see, the C-70 bomb or C-30 bombs, they take out the leg armor, then they take out the legs, and then they take out the whole thing. So I think my bombs are doing 6,500 damage per bomb, and they're like 34-meter blast radius. And which doesn't seem like enough damage, honestly, because of the stuff we've been using in the past. It doesn't seem like it was enough damage, but I don't know if it's the AoE or what. But these bombs will actually one-shot the enemies, so they're actually been pretty good to us here. So I think we're going to be using this for a while. What we're trying to do is, it seemed like it's best to take them along main streets, these aliens, and then just shoot them, and then have them try and follow down the main street, and then, of course, set off the bombs when they get close. The thing that I was doing was having issues with was trying to see where exactly they're at when I'm trying to set them off. So I was trying to do like landmarks eventually later on in the mission, which worked out better. Like go into an intersection or go in front of a building or something, and so that you could at least have a general idea when they're coming around at you. But yeah, these guys are absolutely brutal. They have such good range, and then eventually you have like these laser aliens as well that are like snipers, and they can shoot you from across the map. So the one positive thing of these guys is they can't climb buildings. So obviously, if you're a wing diver or air raider or even a ranger, if you have a helicopter, you can get on top of a building and maybe do something that way. But these guys are really terrible on the ground, though. So I think they're going to be pretty rough later on. But I made a mistake here, actually. I made a couple of videos of hardest that we were doing already, and I'm going to be uploading them. But I made a mistake of keeping my mic on for the commentary, which I didn't want to do. So I've turned that off since, so I'll probably be, from then on, I won't be including the audio. But unfortunately, there's some talking in the background, too, of us. But or just of me, at least, because it doesn't record to the other person. But these these bombs that Ranger has now instead of Air Raider, actually I think could be pretty good, because they have a relatively quick reload time. I think mine was 3.7 seconds or something maxed out, or pretty close to maxed out. And that's pretty good for the damage of these. I mean, there's other ones that have like 20 bombs. This one has 6 large bombs. So I really love these because of the blast radius, but of course they are dangerous to you and everyone else around you. But but it makes it a lot easier to hit these guys here. And then I also took a fast shooting sniper, which I'm really loving. Unfortunately, the one I have is not accurate, or not very accurate. It's like an A accuracy, which sounds good on paper, but yeah, there's S++ is the best, I think. So Yeah, compared to that, it's not very good. It shoots pretty much pretty inaccurate. But he has an MK machine gun that shoots those pink projectiles that blow up, and then he has a healing gun, which is really good this time around. There's so much healing in those guns, and like I said, we're playing on hardest online, so I think we have like 33,000 points of health worthwhile. So I mean that's quite a bit of healing. I think it's more than we'll need, enough that you'll ever need. And you can always heal yourself by aiming on the ground, so that works out pretty nice. But as you can see, sometimes, sometimes these guys don't even see you. Like you can actually walk up behind these guys if they're turning away from you. So it makes me think there's some kind of visual cone on them or something, because you can walk up behind them, put the bombs on them, and walk away if they're facing away from you. But these guys like to patrol, so didn't work out too well. But yeah, there's 3 different kinds of these Cosmos. I'm pretty sure, if anyone else has heard that, I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. Because I even had my friend in Germany, he went to the website, translated it in his own language, and and told me what it said, and he said the same thing. It was Cosmos. So I don't know. And then the frogs are colonists, I guess. But yeah, there's 3 different kinds. So I'm not sure if the super heavies that come in later will be able to be killed by these bombs, but I think it'll at least take out their legs to make it easier. But my goodness, the thing with these guys is if you knock off their armor, they get so fast that it gets really dangerous. So I think that you have to either try and take out a leg, or take out their head armor, or just go for the chest and try and, because the less armor they have, the faster they are, and they get so dangerous when they're fast. So, because I was playing another mission, and we knocked off their armor, was just trying to chip them down as we were running around the map, and that was a bad strategy because they kept getting faster and we couldn't out sprint them. Because I think it's the fastest thing I have right now in Ranger is 300% acceleration, so it's almost like an instant sprint, which is pretty cool. And then I have a 30% increase in speed, running speed, and then like a 25% or something like that in just walking speed, which is also noticeable too. So my fears at the beginning of the game about my fears of just the sprint being non-combative or not for use in combat is still true, which I actually was thinking about it lately, and I'm very happy about that, because I think they made the right decision of not making it so you can shoot while you're sprinting, or backpedal and sprint. Because, like I said before, if you do that, then there's no reason not to hold the sprint button all the time. And I think then if that's the case, then why not just make that your constant speed, or your regular speed? So unless you have a stamina meter or something. So I think what they did was a good job with the sprinting. They made some mods where you can, if you want to be a fast clash, you can, and you can instantly start sprinting to get away from the enemy and then turn around and fire. Because imagine if you could sprint and then you could drop bombs or shoot or something while you're sprinting, I think it would be way too easy. I think it would be a very simple class to play as, and I really like the challenge of this game, at least in certain of the classes. So, but anyway, so we're just finishing off the rest of these guys and having some nice slow-mo bombing of these guys, which is actually kind of cool how you can see like the armor get knocked off in pieces, and then like it's crazy how some of these guys have like 2 helmets on, which is kind of funny. It's like, who wears 2 helmets? But like you'll be sniping him and all of a sudden you break off the first helmet and he still has another one. But I think it's really cool. You can even see the armor get damaged too as you're attacking it. But what we've been trying to do is just trying to see when this guy is like spread out a little bit, separate, so that we can just try and pull like 3 at a time. But I think it would have been more fun if we had pulled like 10 of them. But we weren't sure this was even going to work, because this is the first time, like I said, we actually tried this strategy. So I'm trying to think what else we tried. I know we tried rockets to try and take out their leg armor. I know we tried shotguns to try and get close to buildings, pop out, shoot them, and then I mean, I think we're under. Well, I know we're under armored. I think we're supposed to have like 3,800 armor or something right now, but we're not grinding for armor, so we're just going with what we have. But even just popping out for a little bit, those things are so. Yeah, those pink shots. I was telling them that the threat of those using that pink gun now is if you ever do friendly fire, you have no excuse. You can't hide behind saying, "Oh, it wasn't me," because you can just see these large pink projectiles on you, so you know that. So it's very dangerous to like to strafe in front of each other with that weapon. But anyway, like I said, we tried shotguns, we tried snipers, we tried missiles, we tried locking on all missiles into one target over and over again. It doesn't seem like that works as well as you would think, because we had, I think, 4,000 damage on one missile launcher, all going to one target, and it was a fast-shooting missile launcher, and for some reason it seems to want to take off every piece of armor of them before it kills them. And it seems like it's not going, it's just going for their chest, so I'm not understand why it does that, but that didn't work very well at all. I tried impulses, which I always want to make work. I don't know why I love those impulses, but yeah, those weren't working too well. Tried machine guns, just out damaging them, but man, they get so brutal, and they do like to flank once they get faster and no armor. So yeah, it's kind of a I did it again, ran right in front of them with it. But you know, we got enough healing for days, so it's not a big deal. But these guys, yeah, they actually jump over bridges there. It's kind of cool. But yeah, these are like the last few enemies here, and then we have an idea at the end of how to take out the last guy, which is kind of fun. I mean, we could have took a helicopter. We have used a brute in the past. I mean, those are definitely strong, but we're gonna eventually be trying to do like runs without items or vehicles and just try and do some challenges. But we're just trying to figure out best ways to do this now, because later on we're going to have to figure it out anyway. So, but I think this is going to be fun, especially on Inferno. I guess it depends on the weapons you have. I still feel like hardest feels like hardest online. I think it still feels the same, so that's cool. I'm hoping Inferno still feels really tough, and that I almost want it to where you're almost required to have a full group to beat it, but at the same time I don't think I necessarily want, maybe certain missions, not all of them. Kind of like Demon Army, I guess, but you could do Demon Army with 2 people though. It was just the very last mission that was kind of tough to do with 2 people. But as long as they balance their weapons for the Inferno and for the DLC, I think it'll be a good challenge. Alright, I think we're on to the last, looks like the last enemy here. And then that's it. So I don't think we rescued all the NPCs, and even if we did, it's actually pretty good to grab them, because as you're backpedaling, you can almost use them as like a distraction, so you can be sniping the enemy the whole time. But I don't know, they do tend to go down pretty fast. It's funny how the shotgun guys are the worst, I think, because even though they have a spread, it's like they don't miss, whereas the machine gun guys seem like they do miss. As you can see how fast and elusive he is when he has his armor off. It's so crazy. Which is such a cool concept. I really like that. That's such a good idea, what they did. Yep, rip those bombs. I messed up. It'd almost be cool if they had bombs with laser on it. Laser guide, I think. Or not laser guide, but, you know, like the Y-Impulse. Here we go. Here's a good one. Oh, yeah. I mean, I want to say I've taken like, I don't know, 5 or 6 out in one set of bombs before on some of these missions. It's really gratifying. But I think the bombs could have been something that they could have made Ranger reload in the background. It would have been fine, or even impulses. Maybe make the timer a little bit longer than it is right now, and then like double or something, and then have it reload in the background, because I feel like the impulses can be used really well. They could be a good weapon, but it's just that reload time. I mean, it's not terrible anymore. Like, I think you can get it down to like 5 seconds, and the bomb's under 5 seconds, but it's still, I still feel like this should be something that should be reloaded in the background, but I don't know. Maybe that'd be too good. Or at least make it so that, I don't know, you could take it as a third weapon, where it can only be impulses, but I guess that would be too strong with the bombs. They're way too good. So anyway, here's the last guy. So, my good friend here, he volunteered for this. It was necessary when we had to do this. There was no other way to beat this guy, so he chose to give his life for the EDF, and he's going to run in there, and he's going to save the world, and we're going to see if this works. So he runs up and tags him on the foot and says, "I got diarrhea." And then he goes up in flames. And I have tears running down my eyes right now. And I'm just feeling sick to my stomach. And then watching it from my very eyes. And then I find out that his sacrifice was in vain because the guy is still alive. And it breaks my heart. But upon closer inspection, I find out that actually he's okay. He's been training his body all these years to roll through cars, to roll through trees, and he could take it. He was fine. So it was amazing. He just turned out having a boo-boo on his knee, so that was fine. So anyway, that'll be all I have for you today. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope to see you on the next video.